Hello, everyone. My name is Evan Jacobs, and welcome to another edition of Boxing Time TV. We have a fight that I thought was made, but is actually not made. It's between Jeff Horn and Tim Tszyu. These guys are very big in Australia, and fight's probably going to happen at some point. So I figured, why not just do it now on Boxing Time TV? We can also talk about some more upcoming fights that we have on tap. As you can see, Tim Tszyu is a 7-4 favorite. Jeff Horn's 32. Tim Tszyu is 25. Tim Tszyu, the son of Tszyu, a very good fighter in the 90s and maybe even into the 2000s. I'll go back and I'll look up his his record in his career. Jeff Horn is 5'9". Tim Tszyu is 5'8". Jeff Horn is campaigning at middleweight, so I made him 160. Tim Tszyu is campaigning at super middleweight, but I didn't want it to be such a drastic weight thing, so I made him 156, figuring if they fight, that might be kind of around what he would come in at. Tim Tszyu is, I put that he had a 72-inch reach. I'm going to double check if that is the case. Tszyu has a 68-inch reach. Not inch, but 68 reach. And then Tim Tszyu, Jeff Horn with a record of 20-0. No, I'm sorry, with 20 fights, 2 losses. He was stopped both times. Once by Michael Zarafa, and another time by Terrence Crawford. However, he avenged that loss to Michael Zarafa. And Timothy Tszyu is 15-0. Hasn't really fought nearly as many people as Jeff Horn. So this is a significant step up in class, but one that probably many people, his reach is 72, but one that probably many people think that he can make. Let's just get right to the fight. I babbled long enough. Fight scheduled for 12 rounds, 3-minute rounds, 10-point must scoring system, no mandatory 8 count, 3 knockdown rule waived. Let's go. Usually I do these on Sunday, or on sometimes, I was doing them on Friday, but I think I'm going to start doing them on Thursday. I just think Thursday makes kind of a lot more sense. It's a day that I can do it. And let's just get right to it. You have Jeff Horn coming out, and Tim Tszyu kind of patiently measuring him, counter punches, lands a hard right hand there. A hard right hand reminded me of the right hands his dad used to throw. The record of, Tim Tszyu taking some shots here. He kind of came in, and Jeff Horn kind of showing him, hey, look, I know you want what I have, but I'm not going to give it to you so easily. And Jeff Horn is, looking for angles and trying to do certain things that, to kind of keep Tim Tszyu off kilter. Looking at, Tim Tszyu's record, he's fought the likes of Jack Brubaker. I mean, I'm just looking, I don't really recognize any of these names. Whereas you look at Jeff Horn. And left hand landed from Tim Tszyu. We're already 1 minute into this contest, and this is going to be a huge fight in Australia when it happens. I'm hoping it's the kind of thing that will end up on like ESPN Plus or something, but most likely they'll probably piece it out to like regular ESPN. Even though it'd be nice if they did that. So he got stopped by Michael Zarafa. And then Horn went on to win a majority decision over him. He beat Anthony. He KO'd Anthony Mundine. He lost to Terrence Crawford. He beat Manny Pacquiao. He beat Randall Bailey. So, Jeff Horn can fight. He's a good fighter. Made the most of that opportunity against Pacquiao, enjoying his 15 minutes of fame, extending it out. So he's showing that he's got skills. He's showing that he's a very skillful fighter. It's just a question of, can he keep this up? Can he keep it going? That's kind of what is happening right now. I think Tim Tszyu is kind of taking over here a little bit, kind of coming forward, trying to land some shots, just trying to see where to place his punches. Jeff Horn kind of fighting in a more defensive posture. We are almost at the 30-second mark of the first round, in terms of it being over. And, so far I think you got to kind of like what Tim Tszyu's doing. Although Jeff Horn, he has experience. He didn't get here by, just luck. He has experience and he's a good fighter. Here, let's look up the record of Tszyu. That would really be good. He's a very, very good fighter. I remember his fight. One of his most impressive fights was his fight with Judah, in which he dropped Judah, and I think dropped him once and then dropped him again. And then Judah got up and was like, "Ooh, Horn has a swollen eye." After that first round, the one judge giving it to Tszyu, another judge giving it to Tszyu, and another judge giving it to Tszyu. So Tszyu took that first round. We come out now for the second. So anyway, Tszyu's father, knocked down Judah, to the and to the point of Judah got up and was really, really out of it, and the ref stopped the fight. But Judah was one of those guys, he could go down and get rattled, but then get up and be okay. And it just ultimately, he was upset that he lost, and they never ever rematched. Tszyu would lose to Ricky Hatton. Very, very, very good fighter. But he only had 2 losses. His loss to Ricky Hatton and his loss to Vince Phillips. And I actually was making a boxing movie at that time as Tszyu comes forward, just landing shots. I was making a boxing movie at that time that you can watch on my streaming, on my Vimeo streaming channel. You can do it on demand or rent it or download or own it, or you can also sign up for Anademia Films Unlimited, which is my streaming service. It's $2 a month, and you can watch all the films as many times as you want. Anyway, I interviewed Vince Phillips for the movie, and then I talked with Vince Phillips. He told me he was fighting Tszyu, and I remember telling Vince Phillips, "Hey, you're going to want to move when you fight him," just because Tszyu, very, very hard puncher. I mean, he had a knockout. He had 31 fights, 25 knockouts. Anyway, Vince Phillips goes, "No, I'm going to make him feel my power." And I was like thinking, I don't know that that's a good idea, blah, 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 blah. And he was right, though. That was the way to fight and beat Tszyu. Tszyu was such a good fighter that Vince Phillips' loss really didn't affect him that much. And he would go on and fight Sharmba Mitchell, Julio Cesar Chavez, Diabelos Hurtado, Calvin Grove. I mean, just a who's who of 90s fighter. Judah, who he beat, Ben Tacky, Sharmba Mitchell, Jesse James Leha, and then he would retire. And he retired in 2005. So, I mean, a really, really illustrious career. He'd beaten these guys, knocked out all these guys, beat Roger Mayweather by unanimous decision, beat Jake Rodriguez, Angel Hernandez, Hector Lopez, Livingston Bramble. I mean, just a really, really solid fighter. And, the Thunder from Down Under, as he was known. These guys are having kind of a nice little back and forth, although I think Tszyu is really doing well here. I think he's landing, and I mean, he's certainly in control of the fight, and he may have even swollen Jeff Horn's eye enough to be swollen shut, but Horn is not out of this. Let's see what the judges say as we go into the second round. So they're both breathing heavy. Tszyu taking that round again. One judge's scorecard, another judge making it even, another judge giving it to Tszyu. We move in now. So now Jeff Horn is behind 5 points as we go into the third round, and Horn comes out and lands a right hand. And I don't know, is he going to go for broke against Tszyu? I mean, you know what? I'm amazed, actually. I did not realize the career that Tszyu had, just how great he really was, and only had that one loss to Vince Phillips, and then when he lost to Ricky Hatton, just called it a day. Very, very smart fighter. Sorry, I'm drinking some water here. Once again, you're watching Boxing Time TV. If you like what you see, please like, comment, and subscribe. Please ring the bell. Let people know about this. Let people know how much you like what you're seeing here. Please share these links. Trying to do something unique and interesting in this. There's a million podcasts about boxing. Why not do something where instead of just being a guy talking about it, and there's nothing wrong with that. I love that. Why not be a guy talking about it over a simulated fight? And I know that this is 80s and whatnot, and it doesn't look that great, but Of all the boxing games I've ever played in my life, this is the most realistic one. Anything can happen at any time. Even though Tim Tszyu's up on points, he could walk into a shot and be dropped, and Jeff Horn could be declared the winner, and it would happen that quickly. There doesn't have to be any super punch. He doesn't have to get to a point where his energy is depleted. This is the most realistic boxing game I've ever played. It's from 1983 or maybe from 1982. And I will go to my grave saying this is the best boxing game ever. And hopefully I'll have a lot of these podcasts up so that when I am in my grave, you can all just sit back and enjoy Boxing Time TV. Man, Tim Tszyu's being a sharpshooter in this round, just really counterpunching, letting Jeff Horn come forward and using his forward momentum against him. So some of the upcoming fights, I think the one I'm going to do next is Fury versus Joshua. I had no idea that Tyson Fury was going to come out and just demolish Deontay Wilder the way that he did. But then, you look back and you kind of realize, wow, no one's ever made Deontay Wilder really fight backing up. And it was just one of those things that's what he did. And it was a tremendous performance by Tyson Fury. And Deontay Wilder will be back. He's going to exercise his rematch clause. And you never know. Deontay Wilder could hold his ground. He almost knocked Tyson Fury out in the first fight. So Deontay Wilder's not out of this. It's just Tyson Fury was so dominant in the rematch. It's hard to see what Deontay Wilder is going to improve on to get better. I mean, a friend of mine said, who's a real boxing trainer guy, kind of knows the ins and outs of that game, said, Deontay Wilder should take a year off and learn how to box. And it's like, he doesn't, he was talking about how many more years he had in the game. And as I predicted, Jeff Horn, his eyes swollen shut. Tszyu's breathing heavy. The scores are 10-9, 10-8, and 10-9. So now Jeff Horn is behind 9 points, effectively going into this fourth round. He's going to want to do something to hold Tim Tszyu off him. I don't know that he can, but we will see. So anyway, planning on doing Fury Joshua, because that's a very interesting fight. Because Tyson Fury's admitted he has a problem against slippery fighters, as that's what he called Steve Cunningham. Steve Cunningham, blown up cruiserweight, dropped him. What could a fighter? Oh wow! And Jeff Horn's just getting pummeled in the corner now. And that's the thing is, this can be stopped. The computer can stop this. So let's hope that the computer shows some mercy, doesn't just let this drubbing go on. If in fact that's what it's become. You never know. Horn might be playing possum. Still late in the, still early. Oh, and he gets wobbled again. So yeah. Anyway, if Joshua can be slippery and move the way he did against Andy Ruiz, we'll see. But then again, skill level wise, Tyson Fury is on a whole different planet. So we'll see. I mean, he looked like a giant against Deontay Wilder. And Deontay Wilder bulked up for that fight. I think that was the heaviest he'd ever been. He was at 212 for the first fight. This last fight, he was 230 something. So anyway, I'm going to be doing that fight. Going to be doing Usyk versus Parker, even though that's not made yet. I might even do the Better Biev Fanlong fight before that. There's Canelo, Billy Joe Saunders to think about once that just becomes, And right now, Jeff Horn's just taking it. He's taking a lot of shots, showing a good chin, but man, it's really costing him here. There's Arthur Abraham versus Felix Strum, Kell Brook versus Amir Khan to think about. Dubois versus Joyce. I mean, there's just a lot of fights. Just going to try to get to them all here on Boxing Time TV. Like I said, like, comment, and subscribe. Let your friends know about this. Share these links with everyone. Let's continue just to build this out. I enjoy doing this, and I think Thursday is going to be my day. I do commentating for Fight Club OC, a fight promoter here in Orange County. And I often get told that I talk too much. So maybe I'm talking too much now. Man, Tim Tszyu's now going to the body, and Jeff Horn took all those shots, and that's who knows, maybe that'll do something to Tim Tszyu's confidence, just like the Vince Phillips fight did to Kostya Tszyu's confidence years ago when Vince Phillips stood with him, met him punch for punch, took his best punches, and then really started hitting him back. And there's a lot to be said for what happened there. Oh, Jeff Horn wobbled. We're going to go into the 5th round. And Jeff Horn, I mean, this could be 10-8s all the way because Jeff Horn's very tired. His eyes swollen shut. 2 10-8s. Are we going to get a third one? Yes, we do. 2 10-8s. He wasn't even dropped. This fight's becoming a rout. Jeff Horn is Tim Tszyu's up by 15 points. Let's see if they're gonna stop it here. I mean, they really should consider doing that. Jeff Horn he can't see out of that eye, and he's just taking a lot of shots. Oh, and Jeff Horn just peppering. I'm sorry, Tim Tszyu just peppering Jeff Horn now. Oh, he punches him into the ropes. Oh, and look at Tim Tszyu just landing and landing and oh, and he just, folks, what do we have to see? Come on, computer, stop this. Show some mercy, man. Jeff Horn just taking a drubbing here from Tim Tszyu. And he's a tough guy. Jeff Horn's a tough guy. He'll probably continue to fight after this, and that's the thing we have to see. We have to compare this when the real fight happens because it's going to happen. There's too much money. These guys are too big down under for this not to happen. Oh, and Tim Tszyu going to the body now. I'm sure his dad will be at ringside. Oh. Jeff Horn just taking shot after shot. I mean, Tim Tszyu hitting him with everything but the... Oh, and he wobbles him with it, and his shot to the body's going to do it. That was a nicely, beautiful placed right hand to the body. Jeff Horn takes it and goes down, and folks, the way he's laying there, I don't think he's going to be getting up. Oh, he's been getting bludgeoned to the head. Now he gets stopped. Hey, Tim Tszyu went in there, did what he had to do. It was one-sided all the way from the beginning. Let's go see the particulars. Winners Tim Tszyu by knockout. The fight lasted 5 rounds. Horn was knocked down one time and his eyes swollen shut. Tszyu was not knocked down. The final scores. Tim Tszyu 40-35, 40-35, and 40-35. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in to Boxing Time TV. My name is Evan Jacobs. If you like what you see here, like I said, please like, comment, and subscribe. Ring the bell. Pass on these links. If there's certain fights that you want to see, direct message me. Let me know. I'll do my best to make them. And like I said, going to try to be broadcasting and doing this on Thursdays now. And so we'll get them up and try to be consistent. Try to do 4 of these a month minimum. Who knows? Maybe with spring break coming up, you will get more. Thank you so much for tuning in. And remember, Boxing Time TV, motto here is why wait? Watch it now. Then when the real thing happens, watch that too and compare them. Thank you so much for tuning in to Boxing Time TV.